Okay, so we are going to get started here. And if you haven't heard my previous introduction, I'm Jamie Toomas. I'm a Director of Distributor Services here at ASI. And I am very, very excited to be here today because I love to talk about ESP websites. This is a really exciting new tool that we just launched literally within the last month here at ASI. And I've been with ASI for about 3 years, and I'd say this is easily the most exciting tool we've launched in my 3 years here because it's really changing the way ASI distributors are doing business online. And so we're going to spend about a half hour today really looking at the website, but we're going to focus especially on social networking and how you can generate new customers and really stay more connected to your customers using certainly the social websites, but also using ESP websites, hopefully, as a way to really help you with that. So we're going to spend some time actually looking at the site, some of the features on there, what it can do for you, how easy it is to have one of these sites built for you. And then Don Menig, who's the Executive Director of our marketing here at ASI, he's actually going to step in after I cover the site for a little while and talk about really more specifically social media and how you can take advantage of social media. But let's kind of dive in, and we're going to start looking at the site right now. And for the session here, everyone's going to be on mute. But what I urge you to do, if you have questions along the way, please submit them right through GoToMeeting. We'll be answering lots of questions as we're going through the session. And if we don't get to your question by the end, we will still get answers out to you. And keep in mind also that that your account executive will contact you as well. We've got everybody's name and contact information out there. So we'll be getting in touch with you. And of course, you can always, if you are an ASI member, you can always connect with us and contact your account executive after the call as well. But let's dive in here and take a look at the site and all the things it can do for you. So what we're looking at here is a website that we've built, and it's really a fictional company we're calling Blue Bolt Promotions, but I think it does a nice job of showing off a lot of the features that you can get when you have a site like this. And as I scroll down the page here, you're going to start to notice some things that really jump out at you. And these are really meant to get your customers' attention, to hopefully get them excited about making a purchase and really learning more about what they can do with your business and your services. One of the first things you'll notice here is this ad banner space, and there's a lot you can do with this. You can actually create your own ads to really sell your services, your products, your company, or you can use ASI-created ads like you see here that really are meant to get your customers excited about the opportunity, or you can even use supplier-created ads if there's a specific product line or a specific preferred supplier that you work with that you want to use on your website. And as I scroll down the page here, you're going to see our search window, and this is where your customers are going to be able to do product searches, and we're going to take a quick look at that in just a few minutes. But a few more typical features that you can add on your homepage. One of them is here on the left. We call this the featured product set, and this is pretty great because this is where you can actually add your own customized product. If you have products that you want to sell, or maybe there's things that you sell day in and day out on your website, you can actually add those here. Or if you'd rather lean on us, we've chosen about, or we've created, I should say, about 50 different featured product categories, things like summer products and back to school and holiday products and environmentally friendly and on and on and on. You're welcome to grab one of those, have them show up on your homepage. And what they'll do, you can see in this particular set, there's almost 100 different products. Every time your customer comes back to the site, it's going to grab 9 of those products. So it looks like you've got fresh products, fresh ideas showing up here every time your customer comes in. Over here, we've got a product of the day, and this is the same kind of idea. If you have specific products you want to show up here, you can do that. Or let us handle it for you. We can put a fresh product in there every day. And what you'll start to see here, as we're talking about social media in particular, you see some links here to Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. And this is where your customer can actually drop this product information right onto their Facebook pages if they want to. And actually, a distributor recently told me that they love this feature because they actually go into their website, and if it's an exciting product, they'll click here and actually add it onto their Facebook page as well. So a couple nice options for you. Other things, videos. You can add any video you want to your homepage. Anything that's on YouTube, for instance, you can add, or you can choose any of the hundreds of ASI-created videos you can actually add here literally within about 60 seconds. Add those right onto your site. Scrolling down a little further, you've got a lot of content here. You can add as much content about your company or your services as you want to. This is just one of the places you can do that right there. If you have a storefront, if you want to want your customers to find you a little bit easier, you can add a nice Google Maps interactive feature right there. Newsletter, I think, is a great idea as well. This is where, of course, you can gather email addresses from your customers and hopefully some new customers as well. ASI has a monthly newsletter we've created. You can use that to send out to people, or you can create your own newsletter as well. But let's kind of dive in here and pretend we're one of your customers coming into your site to give you an idea of what a typical visit to an ESP website is like. So I'm going to do a search here. And in fact, I'm going to look for a pretty popular promotional product. We're going to look for a white tote bag. And keep in mind that this product has a built-in database of almost 400,000 products in this catalog. So, and we maintain that every day. That's a part of it that you don't have to maintain. And so we've got that built in here for you. So you can see we have a lot of tote bags in the database here. Nearly 2,000 items after doing a white tote bag search. And so, the other thing you'll notice here, not only do you see a lot of products right off the bat, but you see these categories. And this is not only going to help your customers really narrow their search down very quickly, but I think it's also going to give them a lot of good ideas and give them a good idea of all the products that you can get for them. So I've chosen on tote bags. I wanted to narrow it down a little bit, but you'll also notice some more categories show up here. And one of them is what we call the virtual sample. And this means that your customers can actually add their logo right to product images right here on your website. And I think this is great for two reasons. One is I think it's not only going to help you close a sale, but I think it's also going to keep customers coming back to your website when they know that they can actually see their logos right on products in your store. So as I scroll up here, I'm going to open up one of these pages here. I'm going to grab this good-looking tote bag right here. So you can see the item details page for this item. Again, more links to the social networks sites right there, including a way to send an email out to a customer or to a buyer as well. But here's where you're going to see all the product details. You've got your images here. You can download, I should say your customer can download images there. All of your product details, they can start adding it into their cart if they want to, but I do want to take a quick look at this virtual sample because, again, I think this is a great feature. This is where your customer can add their logos right onto products, right on your page. It's very quick, very simple. I simply click Upload a New Logo. I've got some logos right there. In fact, you can tell I've already dropped on one of these before. I'm going to grab a different one just so you can see how quick it is. I'll grab my trusty Sprint logo right there, and you're going to see here in a couple of seconds it's going to show up right there on my bag. I can manipulate this a little bit with making it bigger, smaller, moving it around, and you're also going to see that it shows up right where the logo is supposed to be on this bag. So far, we've gone through more than 100,000 of these product images to make them virtual sample ready. It's not 100% of the products yet, but very soon we're going to get there. So someday we'll have 100% of the products will be virtual sample ready. So in this case, I'm going to save that. Now that Sprint logo will show up on my products. I'll give you a real quick look at the shopping cart. When your customer comes in to make a purchase, you can see this product option assistant opens up, and this is really to help them create a correct order, basically, as well. And in fact, if they change quantity, you're going to see here pretty quickly that this is also a price-sensitive field here. So if I change that quantity, if there is a price break, looks like there was a little price break right there, actually updates that price. And if they go through and complete the whole process here, let's say we want a black imprint color, I put that in, additional locations. No, once your customer comes in and actually completes these fields, then they can add it into their shopping cart and they can go through with the purchase process. The other exciting thing about ESP websites, there's now real-time e-commerce transactions in here. You can actually take a credit card payment if you want to. You can also take a payment through PayPal, or you can have it created so that it will create a purchase order for you. And nothing happens to this order until you, the distributor, go in and touch that order. That's a control a lot of our distributors like to have. But I think the bottom line is now not only do you have this huge online catalog, very customizable, very easy to create, but now you can actually do real e-commerce transactions right on your website as well. But of course, the focus of what we're talking about here today is social media. In fact, I'm going to drop back to the home page here, and I'm going to show you how quick it is to literally add a link to your Facebook page right here on ASI Central. And then I'm going to hand it over to Don here in a minute. But you can see down here, this is one of the places you can actually add links to your social web pages. And I'm going to go over to my admin page. This is really the back end of my store, and there's lots and lots of things you can do in here when you're building your site, but one of them is really doing this, adding the social networks in. So I'm going to grab ASI Central's. I'll show you how quick and easy this is. Literally going to copy and paste ASI Central's Facebook URL, their domain name, and I'm going to paste it right in here. And this just, again, happens to be right in my admin site. I put that in, I click Save, and usually within about a minute or so, we're going to, oh, looks like I'm timed out here. Demo 1. And if I go back here, hopefully that's saved properly. I'm going to hit refresh. Oh, the timeout might have messed up my process here, but what should happen is the Facebook logo should appear right there. I don't want to spend too much time looking at this, but I think if I hadn't timed out, it would show up right here, the Facebook link, along with any of the other links to the major websites. So again, it's not only appearing in places like the product of the day and the featured product pages, but you can put links in several different places on your website. So, but keep in mind, too, the ease at which you can build this and the support that you have. So I think, firstly, if you do end up signing up for an ESP website, we give you the control to go in, create your website very quickly, very easily, and we've got a full product support team here to help you through that, that whole process of building your site. So literally, within 24 hours, you can have an ESP website that you'd be proud to send your customers to. But let's bring the focus back to social media. So I'm going to hand it over to Don Menig, our executive director. Oh, and before we do that, we've got a poll that we're going to post here. So in fact, if you don't mind, take a quick look at the screen. We're going to launch a poll here just to find out a little bit more from our audience, you know, what kind of social media tools you're using right now. And if you don't mind, just spend a few seconds to do this. And in the meantime, I'm going to hand it off to Don to really talk more specifically about social media.
All right, thank you, Jamie. Thank you very much. My name is Don Menig. I'm the Executive Director of Marketing for ASI. I've been with us for 7 years and have been involved with social media pretty much since its inception. As a matter of fact, for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been teaching a social media class at the ASI shows, and have gotten a lot of good feedback and learned a lot about how distributors are trying to use social media and what the successful ones are doing. And I've got some good ideas for you today. The first thing I would say is that in terms of where you want to concentrate your efforts, there are really 2 primary sites that you should be focusing on, and that's Facebook and LinkedIn. For those people that are, looking at Twitter and some of the other sites that are out there, you can spend an awful lot of time trying to do social media and not having good effort to effect, or EDE as I call it. Really what you want to do is spend as much time as you can on Facebook, where you probably have already started to aggregate some of your customers, and spend a lot of time prospecting and looking inside of LinkedIn. And I actually have 5 really killer LinkedIn tips for you guys to use. The first thing is, and I picked this up at a social media conference that I went to, is that the way the internet is working today and kind of the social web is it's looking for likes, and it's looking for commonalities, and it's looking for links in order to really give you guys the best promotion in terms of search engine optimization of where you're appearing. One of the things that you can do inside of LinkedIn, if you have an organization with 3 people or 100 people or whatever it is get everybody in the company to use the exact same description for your company, so about promotional products. And if you're specific to a region, or you're trying to concentrate on, just say, Des Moines, have everybody use the exact same description saying promotional products in Des Moines, and then carry that through into your website as well. anytime that Google can find commonalities between your text, your links, and what everybody is saying, you're going to find that you get much better results in terms of your search engine optimization. The other piece is to make sure that you're absolutely everybody is using the same URLs in their links. And this actually, I think, makes a lot of sense for a lot of employees because they're always looking for how do they fill in their LinkedIn profiles. What are they trying to do in terms of how do I write my description about what the company is and that sort of thing. So if you provide that for them, you're going to find that you get much better results. So that's a really good LinkedIn tip. The second one is to join groups that are related to your customers. And what I'm referring to is inside of LinkedIn, there is a section for groups. And I'm going to give you an example here of a LinkedIn group. All right, this is VPs, Sales and Marketing. Okay, so they're sales and marketing executives. If you look over here on the right, there are 77,150 members that are all sales and marketing executives. I would think this would be a perfect group for you guys to join. Now, this particular group is very, as they say, self-promotion and spam-free. This is not a place for you to go in and to, spam people and blatantly advertise your services. What you want to do is you want to monitor conversations. So, whenever these sort of links and the updates are posted, make sure that you get them sent as a group once a day and go in and monitor what are people talking about. And when you have relevant statistics to bring to the table, you will then start to be perceived as the expert on promotional products within some of these groups. This is a wonderful chance for you guys to take ASI's end buyer research, so the things that we publish about how people are using promotional products, the cost per impression, all that sort of great data. This is a chance for you to relay that information, become the expert, and then when people are ready on their own to say, oh, you know what, I think there was somebody in that group I think that was doing promotional products. Who was it? They'll go back and look, and you can find and be perceived as that particular expert that's there. And that also ties into one other the piece here. You can actually, when you're inside of LinkedIn, do a fair amount of cross-posting. So you don't have to just publish to one thing at one time. Okay, you can actually publish across multiple sites at once. There are tools out there that will let you publish a post or information. So let's say you take an advantages study. You can take that and publish it on Facebook, publish it on LinkedIn. You can actually tweet it, and it will send it out to all of your social medias at one point. So you can really maximize your time and energy by using one of these tools. TweetDeck is a really good one. Hootsuite is another service that you can do that will allow you to cross-post across a number of social medias at once. For those of you that have not yet set up a company page on LinkedIn, this is the link to do so. Okay, it's a very, very powerful way for you guys to get a company presence inside of LinkedIn. For a long time, they lagged behind in this kind of service, and they've really, amped that up, I would say, in the last 6 months to a year. So please make sure that you're setting up a company URL as well as a personal URL for yourself using that link. And the last thing is, I would say, if you're spending time doing some of the games, I'm constantly getting invitations to, to somebody to donate dollars to Lucky Slots, and so-and-so needs a pig from Farmville or whatever it is. Take some of the time that you're using there and concentrate on LinkedIn. There are great ways to research companies and find individuals and connections in LinkedIn, and you just have to take a half an hour a day to do that. Even using, if you pay for some of the services that are on there, I think it's like $250 a year or something like that for the preferred membership, you can start to use their email tool. One of the great things about the LinkedIn email tool is that the last survey that I saw, they have a 30% open rate on the LinkedIn emails, which is far and away much better than what you would get on generic emails that you try to send out. So get your referrals, link out to other people, use the in-mail features, and I think you've got some really good things that you can do on side of LinkedIn. Okay, I had promised in the description there to talk a little bit about Pinterest. You're probably hearing a lot about Pinterest right now. The URL is pinterest.com, and really what it is, it's kind of all of the fun stuff from Facebook without all of the garbage updates. So it's people posting a lot of pictures and people posting a lot of ideas and things that they like, and it allows them to grab a snapshot, and it is super easy to use. As a matter of fact, it's so easy to use that it's become bigger than Twitter. And it's really just been out there for a couple of months now, so very, very rapid growth. If you are targeting a lot of women with your particular distributorship, I would say it's something that you may want to start to investigate just a little bit from a business standpoint, okay? 80% of the users of Pinterest right now are women, and I think it's a good way to kind of reach out there. Now, this image that I have over here on the right of the toothbrush and the earplugs and that little carrying case, that was a distributor who had posted that out, and one other person had repinned it. And what that means is inside of Pinterest, somebody sees an image that they like, and then they add that to their own Pinterest page. And then somebody else sees it, and they repin it. I do a lot of photography in my spare time, and I've had photos that have been repinned 50, 100 times onto multiple people's sites because they think it's really great. And I use that to drive people back to the gallery that I have where people can buy my pictures. And so it's a really good way to do that. So this particular image right here was liked twice and repinned by one other person. So like I said, if you're targeting women and you think it's something you just want to play around with, I would say that this would be worthwhile targeting because of the rapid growth that's going on there right now. Okay, so what about Facebook? When I talk to distributors about Facebook, they usually fall into two camps. There's one camp which has already blended their personal and business contacts together, and they're not really happy with how that's going. So they want to know, what can I do to separate my personal life from my business life? The first thing is you want to set up a customer list, okay? And you do that through this link right here. It's facebook.com/bookmarks-lists. You want to move all of your customers into that particular list. That will allow you to show just what you want to show to those particular customers. Okay, so you can say that this list only gets certain promotions or certain views or certain looks. The one caveat to that is that anything that is on your timeline automatically goes to everyone on your list. Okay, so you cannot control your timeline and what they see on this particular list. However, other pictures and videos and other things that you post, you can absolutely limit that. So if you are going to blend your personal and business contacts, be very, very careful about what you post on your timeline, at all times. And then definitely get your customers set up as a separate list, because this will allow you to actually do targeted promotions just to them. And the nice thing, of course, about what Jamie was showing you earlier with that Facebook link is that, yes, you absolutely can every day, every morning, grab the product of the day or any product that you happen to like and post that directly to your Facebook timeline. It's done in 2 clicks. You click on the little Facebook icon. You click on it once. A little Facebook thing pops up that says, would you like to post this? And it's got an image of the product and the description. You click allow. You click allow, and boom, it goes right onto your timeline. It's really, really easy to do. Okay, so if you want to move and you want to get away from having a blended personal and business contact, Facebook, as they've started to redo these timelines, has come up with a really, really good branded page that can be created. And that is specifically a business page. The difference is that in order to really market to use that, you've got to get likes to that page. You have to get people to like you in order to really get to that. Okay, so it's facebook.com/pages/create.php. That's the link that will get you there. And you want to get likes at that point. So you've got to go out to all of your current customers and say, you know what, I'm switching over to a business page. Could you please like my page? You may need to do self-promos. There are a lot of distributors that have done very successful self-promos where they say, if you like my page, I will send you X, and it's a self-promo. So, you could send out, obviously, any promotional product that you like that would sit on their desk that would remind them of, the business relationship. So I think that's a really good way to use the business sites and to get those likes up and running. The last thing I'm going to talk about here on this particular page is Google+. Google+ right now, it's a little bit of a joke in that it's got so many users, but the users aren't actually using the product. So they may come out and say they've got tens of millions of users on Google+, but the actual usage of it's not very high. Now, why am I saying that you should get started today with Google+, if that's the case? Google, as they have been rolling out their code for the last 6 months to a year, has only released, from what I understand, about 35 to 40% of the current code for the way Google's going to be running in the future. And they are basing a lot of their search, a lot of their search algorithms on Google+, and on those kinds of, when people +1 you or like your particular website or the things that you have to say, that is going to increase the relevancy of your search results. So you need to get started, get a Google+ page up and running today for your business, okay, and start to monitor that. If you have really high-tech clients, spend some quality time getting fresh content on there. but make sure that you're monitoring what's going on with Google+, because this is not going away because of the way it's going to be integrated into the Google search algorithms. So yes, it's very, very important from an SEO standpoint. Okay, so the next slide, to tweet or not to tweet. I'm going to say that completely depends upon your client base. If you happen to be out in California or in New York City and you've got a high-tech client base, then you may want to consider tweeting as part of it. If you happen to have a large number of customers and you have a large staff and that sort of thing, and you want to use tweeting for a social media review of your business. In other words, sometimes people post negative comments and a chance for you to monitor what people are saying about your business. Then you can use some of those tools I talked about earlier in TweetDeck and Hootsuite to monitor what's going on inside of social media and what people are saying about your company. So in that case, you may want to do it. But that's, again, only if you're a large company and you've got a ton of customers and you've got people that can spend the time to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to say don't tweet. Spend your time on LinkedIn. Spend your time on Facebook, places where you have direct day-to-day interactions, where your clients are going to be, because that's really what's going to drive sales and move the needle for your business. Now, the last thing is you definitely want to do what I call the social web in terms of maximizing the blogs that are out there. Blogs are articles where people write, and then they post something up online. And this is a chance for you to, again, voice your opinion and be present on the web in a way capitalizing on other people's content. And honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better example. Today in the Wall Street Journal, there's an article about Norman Cohn and ASI, and it's entitled the Sultan of Swag. And let me go to the link here, and I can show you a great example of a really, really smart distributor and how they took advantage of this. Okay, so here's the article from the Wall Street Journal. And it says, in the land of giveaways, Mr. Cohn is the Sultan of Swag. So we have a great picture here and a wonderful article about the promotional products industry. Now, under comments, if you go here, we see somebody right here is like, okay, they talk about the trinkets, and then they talk about promotions of T-shirts and beer at minor league baseball games, and he says, now where's that bobblehead? So here, very smart distributor comes in, good call. The minor league baseball market is great, and don't worry, you can absolutely get those bobbleheads. And he posted a link directly to his ESP website. All right, that's the link that he published. Okay, so it's Real Ion Solutions. It's what Jamie was just showing you. This is the way he set up his particular site, and he created a custom link directly to bobbleheads. So now everybody that's going to read that article on the Wall Street Journal has got this guy's link right in the top. It's a wonderful idea, and it's a great example of how to use the social web to get your ESP website out there and get yourself noticed. Okay, so that's what I've got for you from social media. If you've got any questions, you can post them through, and we'll try to answer them at the end. And right now, I'm going to go and get the phone back to Jamie. Jamie.
All right, thanks, Don. In fact, it's interesting. I'm no social media expert myself, but after hearing all that, I want to go and start building some business online and do a lot more with my Facebook page than I'm doing right now. So I'm going to drop back onto the website here. Let's go back to our blue bullet, because I just want to cover a few more things, because I think we've talked a little bit about some basic functionality, but I think to really keep in mind, again, this is very customizable. A lot of distributors that I speak to every day, they either don't have a web presence at all, or they have something pretty minimal, or just a website maybe they're not really proud to send their customers to, or it's certainly not building any business for them. And I think that's the real takeaway with what you can do with ESP websites. You can really have what I'd call a destination website pretty much overnight, if not immediately, because you can build them literally in about 10 or 15 minutes. But once you have that, and I think I'll just touch on another sort of aspect of marketing while we're here all on the phone, is email marketing. I used to do a lot of email marketing at a previous job, and when you have a destination website like this, I think it's imperative to do it. Plus, a couple of more of the features worth mentioning on the ESP website are coupons and discount codes. And when you can drop a discount code right onto an email that you send out to all of your customers, it's very motivating to get that traffic right into your website, and of course, hopefully motivating all of your customers to make a purchase. So there's lots of features here. I could talk for another hour about all the stuff you can do, but rest assured, it's really a great way for you to start doing a lot more business on the internet very, very quickly. So again, keep the questions coming. and we will continue to answer them. But like I said, we will follow up with everyone for our account with your account executive after the call here. So we're actually going to post one more quick poll. So if all of you wouldn't mind actually taking a real quick look at the poll, we'll post this here for another minute. And take a quick look at that and let us know if you're interested in the ESP website, because again, in fact, to that point, I'm sure some of you are wondering about the price. So let's cover that here for a second. So the price of all this, if the most you'd end up paying for an ESP website is about $80 a month, and it depends on the level of membership you have here with ASI. Most people, most distributors out there will pay around $60 a month. Again, it's dependent on the package that you have, but again, it's something that can be built very, very quickly, very easily. We will help you with that as well if you do need assistance building the website. But again, it's to really generate a lot more business online and go hand in hand with you reaching new customers and generating some new revenue. So thanks for letting us know about that. And what I'd say also, really thanks for joining us, because you know, I think we've covered a lot of ground here, and we are again really excited about this. I'm confident that it's going to continue to help our distributors really expand what they're doing online. And as I said, we'll get in touch with everybody out there. But let us know who has some interest, and we'll get in touch with you. But everybody, thanks for joining us. And we'll say goodbye here for our webinar today. We'll continue to answer some questions. But thanks again for joining us. Everybody have a great day.